Of course, we're going to talk about every game in the wild card round, which we had some very exciting games. But I want to start with the Dallas Cowboys destroying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-14. What we did, and we as fans, we as viewers, we saw that Washington game. We saw what the Cowboys did against Washington and how bad they looked. And we thought to ourselves, there's no way those Cowboys, that same Cowboys team, can beat a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. And that's where the beauty and the curse comes in. The beauty is they're right. If Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys played anywhere to the level that they played against Washington, they would have lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Dak threw a pick six. The Unger couldn't catch of punt. It was just so much wrong with the Cowboys that game against Washington. People started to think, well, there's no way Dallas can beat Tampa Bay. And to be fair to people, it wasn't just that game. It was the fact of Dallas. You want to come into the playoffs hot, and Dallas wasn't. Dak Prescott led the league in interceptions, or at least in the regular season, or tied to league in interceptions in the regular season. It just Tony Pollard wasn't healthy. It was just a lot that you didn't like about the Cowboys going into the playoffs. But the curse of it is that game against Washington allowed us to forget some things. You see, shouts out to Sports PSP. If you didn't go watch the last episode, I brought him on and we gave our predictions about the wild card. And every game on the wild card. And when we got to the Cowboys and Buccaneers, both of us, me and, well, I don't remember if he did. You can go check out the episode if you want. But I picked the Cowboys to win. And I didn't pick the Cowboys to win because I thought the Cowboys were just juggernauts. I picked the Cowboys to win because what that Cowboys loss did was allowed us to forget not just what the Cowboys have looked like all season, but what the Buccaneers have looked like all season. You see, there's a reason why the Buccaneers came into the playoffs as the only team with a losing record. There's a reason why while yes, they did host a playoff game, the reason they hosted a playoff game is because just how bad the NFC West or NFC South was this entire season. You see, I just don't take one game. I take a sample size. Now, yes, the one game does matter, especially when you get to the playoffs because it's win or go home. But I just don't take one game in the regular season and apply it to the sample size. Well, I don't make that one game the sample size. I look at the entire season. You see, Dallas has been better than the Buccaneers all season. Even with Dak Prescott throwing as many interceptions as he thrown, even with him missing 5 games and having to trot out Cooper Rush, even with the injury, Zeke not looking like the old Zeke, or Tony Pollard injury, or the injuries on the defense, Dallas has been the better team this entire season. And nothing made me think that Tampa Bay was going to look like something they have not looked like this entire season. You see, I'm not discrediting Dallas. Shouts out to Dallas. They went into Tampa Bay and they beat Tampa Bay bad. I know it was 34-14, but the game was not as close as it was just a complete beatdown. But that should have been expected. Because the team that we saw Dallas be this entire year compared to the team that we saw Tampa Bay be this entire year, again, there's a reason why Tampa Bay is or was the only team in the playoffs that was under 500. Now, I'll give my predictions on the next round on Saturday, but now Dallas faces faces a completely different monster in the 49ers. So I'll give my prediction of that on Saturday. But I'm not discrediting this Dallas win. But what I'm saying is, it was supposed to be like this. I understand that, people don't like Dallas. Hell, I'm a Washington fan. So I try to be as unbiased as possible when talking about Dallas or talking about the NFC East in general. This should have been expected. I understand that Dak Prescott is a wild card as far as how is he going to play. I understand the deficiencies that Dallas has, but I also understand that they are 12-5 for a reason. They have leaned on their offensive line. They've leaned on their defensive line. They leaned on their defense in general with Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and Curse, who I hope he got hurt in the game. I hope that he isn't serious. I know that Xavier Rhodes had to come in and play for the rest of the game. But what we saw from Dallas is what people should have expected. A team that is 12-5 destroyed a team that is 8-9 in the game when it matters the most, which is the playoffs. Shouts out to Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott, he 25 for 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That is the one thing that you can say was surprising about this game. Pleasantly surprised was that Dak Prescott did not throw an interception. I thought Dallas was going to win this game, but I also thought that Dak Prescott, again, it goes back to sample size. Dak Prescott leads the league or is amongst the league leaders in interceptions. So I'm thinking, well, yes, I do think they're going to beat the Buccaneers. I also thought Dak Prescott was going to throw an interception or two. I don't know. But so the fact that he didn't, congratulations for Dak Prescott. Tony Pollard looked good. 15 carries for 77 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 13 for 27, but it was a strong 27. It was a strong 77 for Tony Pollard. Dalton Schultz, to me, was probably MVP number 2 of the game. 7 receptions for 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. The tight ends were the big standouts of this game outside of Dak Prescott. The tight ends really came big, whether it was Dalton Schultz, whether it was Jake Ferguson. It was big. And I know Jake Ferguson only had 1 reception for 34 yards, but still. A team did what it was supposed to do. So congratulations to Dallas. Again, I'm not trying to take away from the win. But what I'm saying is you beat a team that you should have beat. Now, and again, this is for every team, not just Dallas. Now it gets even tougher because now you're going against a completely different monster, a team that is 13-4 for a reason in the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.